Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing today? See, normally I would say happy Tuesday. Oops, here we go. Usually I would say like happy Tuesday, but then I forgot some of the chat lives across the planet, and today is Wednesday for them. So happy Tuesday and Wednesday. And regardless where you are, I think it's a full moon for everyone. I think it's called a blood full moon. So our stream is going to be a little crazy today, and here, let me put this on the screen. Oops, one second. Yeah, so hey Elsie, how you doing? Oops, that was the wrong one. I love you guys. Laura says, I don't think you'll fail the test. They told you not to drink caffeine. They didn't even warn me about mine and just did it. Don't worry. Okay, so yeah, so this is what I was going to tell you guys. Hey Christina, how you doing? I have Christina and Laura here. So awesome. And I saw Khaleesi stop by, our other mod, and she's actually traveling right now, so she might be in and out, but it's so good to see you all here. Anyways, yeah, so real quickly, just, right before we start, as people are coming in, yes, I'm very nervous. I have an EKG test tomorrow, and I'm scared I'm going to fail because I get stressed out at hospitals. I'm always like kind of like high strung anyways to begin with, because there's just so much going on right now. And also, they said, well, online it said like don't have caffeine 12 hours before. So that's also, I stopped drinking caffeine. So hopefully my brain is working for the rest of the stream, because basically I have like, 5 cups a day. So just kidding, maybe like 2 to 3 cups a day. And if I fail, then I can't have my surgery. It's to get a clearance for anesthesia for surgery. So anyways, but the chat's awesome. You guys are all like, oh, it's easy. You'll be fine. Hey, Trish, how you doing? You're feeding the baby right now. So you're talking to Tex. We'll catch up soon. Well, we're glad to have you here. This is going to be a crazy ride. So just stick with me. And let me just move myself to here, or maybe here. Okay. Oops, did I just close out? No, we're still good. So March Madness and Sadness. We're just gonna like get right into it with the sadness, you guys. Uh-oh. Okay, we're loaded. So I'm sure you guys saw this, but Savannah and her sister Annie and the brother-in-law Tomasso, they visited the memorial outside of Nancy's house. This was yesterday. And I thought it was pretty I thought it was a special moment, because I think it's the first time they really did get to see all the love from the neighbors and the community. And Savannah really did. She walked and she reached down and looked at the signs and was reading and looking at the photos or the pictures that people made. So I think it seemed really sincere. And I thought that this was a good video right here of like maybe what their point of view would have been. Share this tab instead. So I thought that was really nice. And hopefully a little bit, what's the right word? Like, not healing, but like maybe brought them just a little bit of peace for them right now, just to see that the community really is behind them and really does support them. And let's see. Rosewild said, I think if she thought it was Tomasso, she wouldn't have been so loving, but she seems loving towards Tomasso. I agree with that, Rosewild. I think you're spot on with that. Laura said, DJ, I was there fully caffeinated and Vyvanse up. Really? And you passed your EKG? See, and then I kind of am nervous for getting this surgery to begin with. So I'm like, why do I care if I fail? Then I won't have to get the surgery, but I do need it. I was like an athlete. I was a college athlete. I was an athlete my whole life. And I did dancing and figure skating and track and tennis. And I'm pretty sure this torn labrum, it's a hip labrum tear. I'm pretty sure it's been going on for a while, but it started getting bad like when I wasn't doing things. And that's when I knew like now I can't even put a lot of weight on it. So it's a whole problem, but I'm scared of surgery. I don't want to do it. Anyways, okay, let's keep going. So we started with the sadness. And then here, I thought this was really pretty. This was from yesterday. It wasn't even I think the full moon is technically tonight, but I just thought that was pretty over the desert like that. And okay, so we can quickly listen to Brian Entin's little update. What it sounded like today, there was several people visiting the property. We had workers, it looked like, people who were like locksmiths and people changing the things in the house, maybe some sort of maintenance inside the house, since it is being returned to the family. There was also, it looked like, people with metal detectors trying to find possible jewelry that was stolen, that was dropped somewhere. And we also had a crazy drunk who said that Brian Entin was part of the cartel. Not even joking. So let's listen to him.
Hey guys, so I'm outside Nancy Guthrie's house. There's been some action today. First of all, there were some people that showed up that seemed like they were maybe doing some work on the house, locksmiths. They were by the front door of the house. They were then at the back of the house. There's also these private searchers that have shown up with metal detectors going up and down the street outside Nancy's house. They said they were maybe looking for jewelry or a bracelet. So kind of interesting. They're still out here right now. The sheriff gave NBC News an interview. We've been asking for an interview, but he hasn't responded. But he did give NBC News an interview, said that he does not think it's a cold case, that he thinks they'll solve it. A lot of stuff he said previously. He said they're looking at hundreds of thousands of cars, which is kind of interesting when he was asked specifically about that new video from 2.5 miles away. That came out last week. He said we're looking at that plus hundreds of thousands of other cars, which is a really big number. And with the backpack, remember the backpack that they said was bought at Walmart? He's now saying that they're considering that the suspect may have gotten it secondhand. So maybe he didn't actually buy it at Walmart, but bought it secondhand after someone else already bought it at Walmart. So that was kind of the update from his interview. I'll keep you guys posted with anything else that happens today.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. I think that we called that, remember, when we said maybe he didn't get it at Walmart. Maybe he just stole the thing. Well, they're saying maybe got it secondhand, like eBay or something. But I'm like, well, maybe he just stole it from someone. And I see some of our other favorites here. Hey, Nanos, how are you doing? Hey, Gelth Walker. Yes, not knee surgery. Not knee surgery. It's hip labrum surgery. And I'm so nervous. But you guys are making me feel a little better. Thank you. Yes, Gel said, don't leave it. Or get that thing fixed. Don't leave it like I did. It makes it worse. Well, thank you so much. And sorry for like totally sidetracking us with that, but it was like a whole, see, Laura said she drank coffee and passed with flying colors. I might actually get my cup of coffee. I feel more calm drinking coffee, to be honest. Like it makes me nervous not to have my coffee. Craziness, right? Anyways, so, and this was another update from another person. I think I reposted it on my X. Let me go to that so we can read the whole thing. But I just thought that these were the key points from it. I'm going to get to it right here. Share this time said. Okay, it says, Nancy Guthrie, we asked the Pima County Sheriff Department about a few things, including Annie Guthrie's car. They told us the car was in the process of being released. We also asked about the DNA analysis and if the 2 men detained during this investigation have been cleared. Their answers are below. So we'll go back to the slide because I just blew it up here instead. And it says, no updates on the DNA. Annie's vehicle is in the process of being returned to the family. We still have a dedicated team working on the case. Court-approved search warrants were completed. The investigation is still ongoing. So that was kind of like, that's how it always is. They basically don't tell us anything when we try to get answers. So next, speaking of full moon, now we're going to go to the madness because I said this was March Madness and Sadness. Now we're getting into the madness. And I don't know if you guys saw this today, but this drunk comes by he had someone driving him. I don't know if it was his parent or what, and stops by and says that he knows who did this to Nancy. And the name is Walter Nash. And he definitely seems incoherent. So we can see there was a clip here, but I was actually going to show you this other clip. This was his face. This clip.
One of them owed him money.
What, a family member or something?
Someone owed him money.
Jesus.
Trust me, I live in this fucking place, man.
Yeah.
395 with a mail. Can you go ahead and reach
who can figure it out? My dad over there, all right? You know what I'm saying?
You
We're
and your
trying
dad?
to we're trying to
That's
figure
awesome.
we're trying to fix this.
So that's what we're doing too. I'm local. We're just trying to find her.
You can say that too, man. I hate that piece of shit.
What did
You
he
know
do
what I'm
to
saying?
you? Like, how do you know him?
Yeah, what did he do to you, man?
Like, what's
Fill us
going
in.
on?
You know what I don't like about him?
Huh.
Because he poisons people.
Oh, with the
Drugs.
oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you should go to the police with this information. If they don't know, you said they know.
He thinks they know. I think you should probably share that.
I think we're just coming out here. Look, I brought my dad out of here. We're like, I was trying to find the reporter.
Oh, you're talking about Brian
No,
Brian
fuck that guy, man. He's a fucking cartel fucking drug dealer, man. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Dude, you're gonna get my stream demonetized. Stop swearing. Just kidding. Yeah, this guy was a total whack job. So, anyways, they called the Pima County Sheriff's Office and they sent someone in, but he had already left at that point. But it's just like weird. Like, not only was he seemed out of his mind to go and show up to this house, he had someone driving him. So someone was like driving him, knowing that something is wrong with him. I mean, and he got in the front seat, it looked like, of the car. So it didn't look like it was an Uber or something. And then he has the nerve to like say that Brian Entin is in the cartel. I mean, just so nuts. And to say that he knows who did it, it's like, so you want the police to get in contact with you, right? Like, and then saying it's Walter Nash. I mean, I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but just total insanity, right? And then we had these people with a metal detector, and I just don't get it. I do not understand. Apparently, they think that the suspect probably stole jewelry and then maybe dropped it, so they're going to use a metal detector to find it. I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Do what you want to do if it brings, us closer to finding Nancy, but still, just totally crazy. Hey, Jungle Vet Jill, how are you doing? Who else did I miss? I say hi to everyone. So yeah, so you said that Annie Guthrie's car won't be released. I think it will. I mean, see, here's the thing is like they cleared, or they said they cleared the family, but they don't have their car back. But then the other suspects of like the SWAT raid got their cars back, even though they haven't been cleared. I don't know. I think maybe it's just, who knows? It's just taking a long time. And I don't know if you guys remember in the Idaho 4 case, like they kept the victims' cars for over a month. So, I mean, who knows? But, okay, let me keep going. Who are they talking about? I don't know. The guy was saying he knew who the suspect was, named Walter Nash. I think he was like getting his movies or TV shows confused. I know there's like Walter White or something from like that Breaking Bad. I don't know. This guy was on something, but like, why was he there? But then Brian Entin came up and he said Brian Entin was in the cartel. Like, totally insane. Yeah, it was so strange. I don't even know how to explain it. Jungle Vigil says it's happy hour in Tucson. And Christina says, I think it's almost happy hour for me. Go for it. Have a drink. You deserve it. Rose Wild said they wouldn't be dropping it by the road. They would have to be throwing jewelry out the window while driving, and that defeats the purpose of stealing in the first place. I don't think valuables were taken. You don't think valuables were taken, though? I know it. The whole thing seems so strange. And yes, the backpack seemed full. It did, unless like they had bags inside the bags, like maybe cadaver bags and shopping bags. I mean, I don't know. This whole thing makes no sense. So I wasn't really going to show the videos and then looking because it seemed really stupid kind of. And then this guy was someone else who came, another searcher just arrived from California. His name is Zeke. He is here for a week looking for Nancy. And I guess like when they FBI puts out the $1 million. Well, sorry, they didn't. When the family raised it $10 million, I think that helped bring more people that are wanting to look. They want to look and try to find answers. Maybe that's why they're out here. Who knows? Okay, this one, you guys, I don't even know what to say about this. Like when this happened, I was appalled. Still am appalled. But so these people went right in front of Nancy's house and did this like photo shoot where she like barely has any clothes on. It was such in poor taste, so crazy. And so then people like figured out who she was. I think it was some sort of like OnlyFans thing or whatever. And she and then she starts claiming that like she did it to report facts for like she's starting her own like true crime channel or something. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what? It made no sense. And then someone says they're doing a photo shoot, and she's like, a photo shoot? Is that what you think? I was doing I was shooting a thumbnail for my own channel. Not sure if you know how to do that. I know technology is difficult for you boomers. And I just want to say, like, okay, maybe I'm a boomer because I like when I make my streams, you know, when I start it, it says like add a thumbnail. So I go back in my Canva slides and I put together something to make a little thumbnail. That's what I do. I don't like get half naked and go in front of a victim's family's house and do a whole photo shoot to make a thumbnail. It's like, am I missing something? Did she mean like profile picture? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I did look at her page and I don't see anything about a true crime channel. So I know, Kenny, what the hell? I don't know. It's disgusting, right? Gal says, did they have the backpack filled with extra meds? I don't think so. I don't think so. Sun's out, buns out. No kidding. That was so crazy. Trish says, I'm back, sort of. LOL. I saw that photo shoot craziness live on JLR. So, and then she tried to attack them, like JLR, whoever called them out, and was like saying that she was getting bullied. I was like, bullied? Why? Because they said, what are you doing? Like, ma'am, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's so crazy. Some people are so like beyond help, like so disgusting. And so anyways, yeah, that's all the attention I'll give her for that. First investigation, where's the rest of your shift went, girl? Yeah, I don't know. Where is the rest of it? She's Kenny says she's a lying ass. Well, she's definitely showing an ass. I don't think that she was telling the truth. Laura says, I'm a boomer then because it's so inappropriate to wear next to nothing in front of a missing grandmother's house. Exactly. So I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, people are going to cash in regardless. I get that. I do. But like I'm okay if you're doing it and helping the cause. I just felt like this wasn't helping. I just felt like this was straight up disrespectful. Michelle, how are you doing? Good to see you. So Christina says, I know what to say. She is nasty, right? I agree. So that was a just bizarre thing. And then someone had made a video, like used Grok to make like a video. Oops. Okay. One of those like take the picture and make an AI video, and the video it made, she was like throwing up a bunch of black gloves. Some people thought that was real. I think that was just Grok, but still, it's just so inappropriate.
Have you been able to identify
okay, so now that we're those crazies are out of the way, let's get back to like the craziness within the actual case. So there was an interview that the Pima County Sheriff did with Today, and the Today Show, that's Savannah's network. So we always like to really make sure we listen to everything that happens there, the questions they ask and whatnot. And I just want you to hear this part about what he says, how hundreds of thousands of vehicles were driving at that time of day. So here we are.
Car that drove past at 2:36 a.m.?
No.
No. But you are looking to identify it?
We're looking at that vehicle as well as hundreds of thousands of other vehicles that were out driving that time of day.
Nanos says they still...
Okay, let's hear that one more time. I just want to make sure we all heard that, because like I thought someone told me that I didn't hear it right, and he's saying, oh, they just have to look at thousands of vehicles because like if there was one Kia that drove by, that means they have to look at all the Kias. That is not what I heard. So let's listen to it again.
Have you been able to identify the car that drove past at 2:36 a.m.?
No.
No. But you are looking to identify it?
We're looking at that vehicle as well as hundreds of thousands of other vehicles that were out driving that time of day.
Nanos says they still...
So what did you guys hear? Let me see the chat. Yes, you did say hi to everyone, I think. Good to see you, Michelle. Why are they looking at every car? That makes no sense. Well, it didn't even say every car. It said like every car. It said hundreds of thousands of vehicles that were driving at that time of day. It was 2:30 in the morning. So Christine says, I mean, she's not nasty for what she looks like alone, but she is for how she decided to dress when coming to the missing grandma's house. I totally agree. And I mean, and it sounds like they were really rude to the other people there. And it's like they knew what they were doing. Like, you don't go there. And then she tried to say that like people should be focusing on the case. It was like, girl, like I just have no words. Like sometimes, you know, there's some people that just cannot be helped. And so it is what it is. Trish says, I hear Blake Lively math going on from the sheriff. You hear the Blake Lively math going on. I know. That's why I think he probably likely misspoke. And I think I did say that. Well, actually, we'll go back. But I think like maybe there's a chance he misspoke, and maybe he meant they were just looking at hundreds of thousands of tips of vehicles and not just like that time of day. Cause like, honestly, I don't think it was possible that there was that many that were driving around that time of day. And like, yeah, it was 2 a.m. I don't think there should be that many at 2 a.m. Exactly. Hundreds of thousands of vehicles. That's a huge number, right? And they don't even have 100,000 of tips. Like they tell us that they're up to like what, like 30, you know, I think they said like almost 20,000 tips. So that's still not hundreds of thousands of tips. It's still not hundreds of thousands of vehicles. Elsie says that's a crazy statement. I'm telling you this dream, and we're still going down the crazy hole because it's about to take a crazy turn in a little bit. But it is crazy. And that's why it's just like, for the love of God, just use the public information officer. You have one, the taxpayers pay for one, just use them. I don't understand why he has to come out and, you know, and I don't like, it makes him look bad. It makes everyone look bad, and it makes him seem not credible. It's like hearing the 50,000 hours all over again. For those that don't know that reference, that's like when Blake Lively's team said that Wayfair, they wanted all the dailies of the footage from the set for her movie, and then they came back and claimed there's like 50,000 hours, which means they would have had to like been filming for like 6 years or something. And she was only on set for like what, like 16 days or something. I know Christina knows the number, but whatever. It is Blake Lively math. That's so funny. Exactly. Okay, so I hope I didn't miss anyone. JLR drove the route between Annie's and Nancy's at that time of night. Even the main road was empty, so desolate. Right? And I think it'd be like, I don't know, if there was that many cars on the road at that time, like maybe that wouldn't have been the best time to be doing something like this. So I don't know. We'll see. I see why I don't believe him. He's like a toddler. Yeah. Yep. 16 days. Okay. Exactly. So she was on set 16 days. So I don't know, whatever 16 times 24 is, but like even then it did not equal the amount of hours that she said. And it was just really funny because even I remember Grok, I put like no, it wasn't Grok. It was ChatGPT. I'd put like the info in that her lawyer, Blake Lively's lawyer, was claiming. I was like, and you can find the kind of camera they used on set, like that's available online. So I asked how many hours, and it said something like, you know, because they're like, they weren't using like a webcam quality, you know, to film. It's like a high quality camera. And it was, you know, it would only have been like whatever, like 20 hours or something. So just funny stuff. Okay. So yes. And then this part too, he said that the backpack might have been obtained secondhand, likely eBay. I said we called that or stolen, which was, you know, Brian mentioned the same thing as well. And I already linked this in the description if you want to see the whole video. So then, oh yes. Okay. Have you guys seen this? So the guy who was arrested in the Range Rover did an interview. So if you haven't seen this yet, I was going to show it because I found it to be pretty interesting. And then more interesting was his mom. And like his seems somewhat credible, but you guys tell me. Okay, so Michelle said 16 times 24 is 348. Okay, thank you so much. And we know she didn't even film 24 hours a day. So if it was 16 days, I mean, I would say maybe times it by like, what do you think? How many hours do you think she really filmed? Like 10, you know? And how much time was she on set wasting people's time? Who knows? She's crazy. Okay, Laura hasn't seen it. I'm going to play it. Hey, Wrathful, how are you? She says, hey, I'm here, but I am working. I am on a roll and just discovered something and I need to keep going, but I will be listening. Well, we are so glad to have you here. Good luck with your project. And I was listening to you and Kenny yesterday on my long drive home from the doctor. I was in the car for like, you know, over 6 hours yesterday. So, and Jungle Vet Jill said he seemed upset but credible. So did his mom. Okay, I'm going to play it then. Let's listen to it. And then you guys can tell me what you think. Hey, Hot Messy Express. So good to see you. Okay. Oops. Let me go back to my slide.
Many people have believed that you are the person on the surveillance video.
Uh-oh, hold on. It's not letting me go big. So I'm just going to pull it up on my, sometimes it doesn't let me zoom in on there. So I'm just going to go to my page and we'll watch it from X. Sometimes it's just easier that way. But I always try to like, you know, link the person so you could see them. It was not this. Yeah, this one.
Have believed that you are the person on the surveillance video, the abductor, the masked person. Is that you?
It's not me. I don't see the resemblance of it looking like me, but absolutely not. I have nothing to do with this case.
Nothing to do with it. Do you have any idea who is involved in the abduction?
I don't. If I did, I would happily tell FBI, police, anything. I mean, I, like everyone else, just want Nancy to come home and be safe. But that being said, I have nothing to do with this case, and that's it.
Explain to me what happened on the night you were detained, where you were, you're with your car. How did that unfold in your eyes?
So I was driving home. I noticed two sheriff vehicles following me. They pulled me over at the Culvers right there, asked me to get out of the car, didn't tell me what it was about. So they had me cuffed in the back of a cop car, detained. I was asking, like, what am I being detained for? And they wouldn't tell me anything. They just said that the detectives would be there to talk to me. And once I saw like FBI and all the other cars start pulling in, I'm like, oh, this is probably about the Guthrie case. I'm like, this should be easy. Like, I have nothing to do with this, so it should be not a big deal to clear my name and move on. But the whole time during the questioning, didn't really seem like more of like a fishing expedition for them to try to get me to say something, because all the dates I was telling them where I was, things like that. I'm like, all you'd have to do is look at my phone and see my location. It was nowhere near anywhere or have any connection to this. But still, it was tough, like being there. Like, I mean, I don't trust the FBI to the extent that I'm like thinking that there's pressure on this case and they want to find the person. So like the whole time while I'm sitting back in the cop car, I'm like panicking, thinking that I'm gonna be framed for this, or they're trying to pin this on me somehow.
Did they tell you what led them to you? I mean, something made them believe they needed to talk to you about it. What was that?
I asked them. They didn't tell me any information about that. And I have thought of any type of reason why they could have come after me. But there's nothing. And I think that's why they didn't tell me.
Were you in the area of the home at the time, like overnight, or would it have been something like, we've tracked this person near?
Well, I live near her house, but I mean, I didn't even know that until after the fact. Like, I barely just learned where her actual house was. And
that part I thought was like, I'm like, really? You didn't know where she lived? Wasn't it only a mile away? This is really funny. Christina says, this case, then what case are you involved in? He's apparently, I think he got busted with a bunch of drugs or something last year. And I think that's like supposedly his only crimes, but I don't know. I actually haven't really looked into his background. Christina also says that she doesn't think that this is the masked guy. Laura says, it would be interesting to see what he looked like the week before all of this. It looks like his eyebrows were trimmed. It's always the eyebrows, you guys. Like, let me think. Like Luigi, it was the eyebrows. The Koberger, Idaho 4. Remember, like, the roommate said he had these bushy eyebrows. Like, I feel like that's always the eyebrows. And Christina says, I'm curious about his background. Has he been in trouble before? It's just interesting that he says this case. He has been in trouble before. So let's finish listening.
In relation to mine. So I didn't even know.
Had you ever met her?
No.
Did you know who she was?
I knew who she was because my mother was following the case. But in terms of other than that, I would just go off what my mother was telling me.
And so how long were you detained for?
Probably maybe 4 or 5 hours.
In the back of that car the whole time? And they searched your Range Rover extensively?
Yeah, they searched Range Rover. They towed my Range Rover, did all DNA testing or whatever, and then gave it back to me. Took my cell phone. I've had no way to get a hold of anyone, which is probably a good thing because everyone's looking at me like I'm this person that I'm not. So it's been rough.
You got your car back
Yes.
in rough condition, or was it okay?
Well, when I went to pick it up, like it wouldn't start. They, I guess they drained the battery down, and it was just covered in the whatever white substance that they use for testing. But yeah, then I got it started up, and it wasn't. Luckily, it wasn't damaged in terms of like repairs or anything. But
So when they released you, what did they say? They say you're free? Did they say never mind? I mean, what was the verbiage there from them?
They had just told me that they were still at my house, so I couldn't go home. But they drove me somewhere near the house and just dropped me off. And I was like, "Well, I don't have a phone. How am I supposed to figure out when I can go back to the house?" And they basically said, "You're just gonna have to figure that out." So I mean, I waited just where they dropped me off at for maybe an hour or so. I had a friend that lived near the area, and I walked over there. They weren't home, so I was just waiting, like basically just on their patio. And then it got to the point where I'm like, "Well, they should be done by now." I walked back to my house, and this was like the worst part for me is getting there and seeing the house torn up. But the worst part was my mom not being there, and her being elderly and having AFib and things like that. I'm thinking the worst. Like I see her car's here, but she's not there, and I don't have my phone to get a hold of her. So I'm wondering what happened, if I need to start calling hospitals or what the deal was. But luckily, I guess she went to one of the neighbors, but I didn't find it out until the next day.
Right. You were detained and released, but you've said it. Your face, your name, it's everywhere online. People still believe you were either involved or did this. What's that been like for you to have your name, your picture, even a past mugshot all over the internet associated with this case?
I mean, for me, it's terrible. It's hard to go anywhere, and the hard part is they're making all these assumptions based on things that have absolutely no relevance, and they're just bringing up my past, which I mean, I do have a past, but nothing violent or anything like that. All my past has just been involved with using drugs, and I haven't been in that life for over 2 years now. So all.
Okay, you want me to show you this? Okay, because people are asking about the rap sheet. So here, apparently, like, this was one of them. Like, he was supposed to have gone, I don't know what this is, some kind of hearing. Or, sorry, it was a motion to continue. So I guess that there was going to be a jury trial February 24th. That was only like last week. And then it was reset to May. So this is for the state of Arizona versus Luke Anthony Daley. And then we had, oops, let me go back. There was someone else in here put this one. This looks like a complaint against him from last June. And I don't really know. It just says, oh, wow. The crimes of narcotic drug sales, weapons misconduct, firearm during a drug offense, weapons misconduct, prohibited possessor, possession of drug paraphernalia. So it looks like it was last May. And, well, I mean, he did admit to that, though. He did cop to that. So I don't see a problem with that. And then let me go back to this. I actually saw, like, someone, Hot Messy Express, this is so funny. She said that she photoshops an eagle in between her cousin's eyebrows when she takes hers too far, when she trims the eyebrows too far. Oh my God, we have to see that. That's so funny. Michelle says he seems nervous and not confident in his answers. Hey, just snooping. How you doing? Good to see you. So, yes, let me go and let me see so far. Here, we'll keep going, but I just wanted to see in the, I'm going to check the poll.
Things that they're bringing up. Yeah, I guess it's public record, but it would never came out if it wasn't for all these people speculating and doing things like that. So now people that had no idea about my past, so I've done like a good job of working past it and not having anything to do with it. So them doing that now is kind of just reopening this whole speculation and make me out to look like this bad person, which I'm not.
And it's not just been you. People have found, records of an alleged girlfriend of yours. There's been a lot of rumors swirling around. What do you want to say about those rumors, about you, about her, about, everybody that people have looked at and said, well, they could do this?
Yeah, first of all, that's not my girlfriend. I barely knew that girl, and I was arrested with her on a completely different circumstance over a year ago. I haven't talked to her since, and I guess they're just going off of the arrest saying that I was arrested with her. So, but I hardly know her and don't associate with her.
I think he seems pretty believable there. He's like, I don't know that woman. Galthus is so funny. He says the fact he keeps saying is a bit suspect. I try not to say sometimes I say I do a lot. Actually, I was gonna do an jar. I forgot about that. Kitty says I say a lot. Am I a suspect? That's really funny. So it looks like so far in the are there felonies? Let's see. I don't know if those were felonies or not. I can check that screen again here. We'll go back. The F I think means felony. So it says F2, F4, and F6. And I believe that those are felonies. So just pretty interesting. But it looks like that whatever the trial was going to be is delayed now. Or, until May. What do you guys think? I was looking at the poll, and so far, we've only had 11 votes, but it's that most of you don't know yet. I asked if you think he's credible, and it's split on yes and no, 18%, 18%, and then 64%, I don't know. So I'll leave it open for a little bit longer. Do you guys want to hear more of the interview? We'll just hear like a few more minutes of it. Here, I can make him up faster. That might be too fast. Hold on. Okay.
But in terms of everything else, I mean, all the speculation is just going off of, I don't even know if people really believe it, but online it just seems like they're pushing this narrative and trying to make connections with things that are, I don't know, basically like circumstantial, like saying my eyelashes match the guy in the ski mask picture, which I'm sure like if you could use anyone's picture and find similarities.
And you don't recognize the person on that in that footage?
No, I don't. But in terms of all this, like I said, they're comparing my face to this. They're talking about my Range Rover, which I didn't even buy until after she was reported missing.
It was a new car, yeah, for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're talking about another car that was towed off my property. That car wasn't an accident, has nothing to do with this. It wasn't towed in relation to this case. It was being told by the insurance company to assume if it was totaled or not. So that had nothing to do with the case. There's no evidence to point towards me other than speculation.
You really have no idea what led them to you in this case?
Absolutely not.
Still a mystery to you?
Yes, and I would love to find out.
Were you dealing mostly with sheriff's deputies or FBI agents when you were detained?
So, and I also thought what is interesting, wait, sorry if I missed it. Did he already say the part how they returned his car with all the white stuff in it for the testing? I just thought it was funny. Trish, this is such a good point. Imagine going home and now your mom is missing. Where was his mom? So his mom was detained also. And actually, was she detained or they just brought her over to the neighbor's house? We'll listen to hers next. What else are you guys saying? Yes, Christina, if so, they already have his DNA, unless that is just a California thing. Yeah, that's a good point. If he was arrested before and they're felonies, yeah, they probably do already have his DNA. It doesn't say he was charged, though. I mean, it doesn't say he was convicted, just charged. So maybe we'll see. So, okay. Let me keep going. Christine says, my dad's rap sheet is as long as I am tall, maybe more. So okay, yes, you want to hear more? Okay, we'll keep playing it then.
Detained.
When I was detained by the sheriffs, but in terms of all the questioning was done by the FBI.
What would you like to say to both PCSD and the FBI?
Basically what I told them before, if there's anything, I'm happy to help. If there actually was something real that I could help them with, but like I said, they had my phone. They went to my phone. So, I mean, if it was anything real, they could look through that and hope clear my name. But in terms of the collateral damages, this being part of it, there's not really any type of way. There's no going back from this.
For your whole family, too. I mean, your mom has had to go through this, too. As a family, how has this made you guys feel collectively together to kind of be in this public shock, this public scrutiny?
It all just seems like a nightmare. I mean, it doesn't seem real. And it's just been, we're all it's just been a nightmare. I know my mom, she has like problem with stress, and like she was doing good before this. After this, she's been a lot more stressed. It's been hard. I'll let her speak to how it's affected her, but I mean, in terms of collectively as a family, it's been a nightmare.
You know, what's your message for Nancy Guthrie's family?
I mean, I like everyone else. I want to see her come home. I want the actual suspect to be found. I think it's really unfair to them to give them false hope by going off whatever they went off to have this huge investigation and raid happen. To me, it's like giving them false hope that something that they had a suspect and then it was nothing. And I'm not the first person either, so I think it's wrong in that sense.
this is your first interview since you've been detained. What's your hope in putting your voice out there now that people will get from this interview?
I mean, for my personal interest, I would just say just not to go off speculation of everything you hear on the internet and kind of like the hive mind mentality that someone says something and then they just go off of it based on no evidence, no truth. But I mean, in terms of like moving forward, I just want to be cleared, have actual verification that I was cleared by the FBI and sheriff, whoever else.
Have they officially cleared you?
I don't date. This is just going off what I've heard, but I guess I've been cleared, but they don't close any case, I guess, because it's still ongoing. But I mean, I know personally there's nothing else that they're gonna come across that points towards me. So
unequivocally, you are not the person, you are not involved.
Absolutely, 100%.
Is there anything else you want to clear up that people may have said, that you've seen, that you feel that you have the opportunity now to address?
Nothing particular is coming to mind right now. Obviously, I'm nervous. This is, like I said, my first interview, and I mean, I'm not trying to get any more attention from this. I just want to put it out there for me that I had nothing to do with this, and I'm hoping that the truth will come out, whatever that may be. I have no idea.
I appreciate your time. Chris, do you have anything that you want Luke to address or add? Luke, is there anything else that I didn't ask you that you want to address or talk about while you're here? Just want to make sure that you get your opportunity to say anything you want to.
I just want to say again that I hope that she's safe. I hope they find her, and I just want to move on with my life and not have any. I mean, it's been hard. Like, I can't go anywhere. Everyone gives me dirty looks, and they see me in my car. Like, I would assume that like, I don't know, people are just think I'm like this person, and it's been hard, like leaving, going anywhere, doing anything. So I'd like to be able to go about my life and not have this shadow of doubt casted over me.
What do you guys think? I'm going to close the poll now. Now you've heard the whole thing, so you can tell me what you think. We had 15 votes. Last call, last chance. I'm going to close the poll. 3, 2, 1. Okay, closing it. So, oops. Shouldn't it show me the results when I close? Oh, here it is at the bottom. Okay. So we had 67% said that, I don't know. Is he credible? We had 20% yes and 13% no. So, I mean, we're a very small sample. I think that you guys know best. Oops. So I'm going to go with y'all. And, you know, I think I thought he sounded pretty credible. I mean, I get it. Like, some of the things were sort of strange. Like, a few of the things, like saying he didn't really know, like, how close she lived to him. It's like, how do you not know that? And when, you know, he was like, well, my, you know, arrest or something was 2 years ago. It looks like it was like a year ago, but I get it. It might have been, maybe he was more involved 2 years ago and he didn't get caught till a year ago or something like that. So, you know, that part I think seemed credible. So now we're going to listen to his mom, and I feel bad for her for what happened, but there was just one part that kind of got to me a little bit, because the interviewer asks if there's anything you could say to the Guthrie family, what would it be? And in my opinion, I thought like she would say something like, you know, I want you to know, like, we're not involved, blah, blah, blah. She never says that. And the interviewer even has to ask her, don't you want to tell them, like, you have nothing to do with this? And she's like, oh yeah. But anyways, we're going to, let's see if we can fast forward to that part of it, because it was towards the end. And don't worry, I linked her, Brianna Whitney, in the description. So you guys can always go back and listen to these on your own if you want. Let me make sure I get to the right part. Well, here, we can just start from here. We'll just go from here, and I'll just speed up a little bit, just so you can hear her talk a little bit, and you guys let me know what you think about her. Hold on. Can you guys hear that audio? I just got a notification saying no sound. Okay. Can you hear me? All right. Can you hear me though? Okay. Let me just see if you can hear me. Okay. You just couldn't hear her. So I believe I have to restart something. So 1 second. I'm going to close out this video. Let me try refreshing the tab. I'm so scared. If I disappear, I will come back. I'm going to refresh my StreamYard tab. This could be very bad, but we'll see what happens. Okay, it's telling me not to do that. Hold on. Let me try again. Let me see if you guys can hear it. Can hear this. 1 second. Can you hear this? No. Okay. Shoot. Okay, I need to come out and come back in. Don't go anywhere. I am going to put something on the screen for you. Let me see. Let me see which slide I have on the screen for y'all. Well, you can read this. Read this summary right here for her. And then what this says. It's really quick. And I'm going to come out and I'm going to come right back in. 1 second. Let me leave. I'm back. Can you see me or hear me? Okay, let's see. Let's try this again with the video. I have to share this screen. Sorry about this little hiccup here, y'all. Here we go. So that's sharing, not yet. And let me see if we can get the sound.
I can't think of anything they took. And that's really...
Can you guys hear any of this? DFJ's live gone wild. Yay, you can hear it? Okay, cool. So that's a good sign. Let me get, we were at the 11 mark, I think. Well, we'll just start at 11 and see what happens. And I'll speed her up a little bit.
More hope is lost, you know.
For you guys in this neighborhood, you know, it's very tight knit. It's a beautiful neighborhood. It's quiet. It's quaint. To have this kind of onslaught, the media spectacle, and then to become where you are, does that change your perception of how safe home feels?
Well, I feel safe in my home now. I didn't for a while. That's why I went to Phoenix. I have wonderful neighbors. They live right next door, and we're in this little cul-de-sac together. And that's where the SWAT team came up the cul-de-sac and stuff. But I mean, I stayed with them some of the time. A couple nights I stayed over at David and Margaret's house because I was uncomfortable, you know. So yeah, I just never thought in my life I would. I mean, who would imagine something like this? And with so much sadness, and I want to say global, but certainly our whole country. But it goes farther than that, probably. Totally. I mean, the way media is today. I mean, I grew up in a different era, as you know. So it's amazing how things spread. So
what do you want to say to the Guthrie family, especially for you and your son? If there was any possibility they still believed you guys could be involved, what do you want to say to the Guthries?
Savannah, I am just very, very sad and sorry about Nancy. And I pray for you and your family that you heal, that you go back to your normal place of life and resume and build with your family and your children and your husband. And but I know it's going to be a challenge, but I'm going to keep praying. Mm-hmm.
And you want them to know no involvement from you and Luke?
No involvement from Luke and I, no.
See, do you guys see that last part where they're like, if there's anything like you could say to the family, what would you say? What would you want to know? And, you know, she's like, she doesn't even say, you know, like that we have nothing to do with it, or like, we're sorry. I just want you to know, like, we would never do anything like that. You know, it's just, I don't know. I guess she didn't really have to say that. She just was like, you guys will get through it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait, what? But I get it also. I mean, she could also, yeah, I hope you go back to normal. Yeah, exactly. Messy Espresso. I don't know. Hey, Gigi, how are you? Hey, guys, late as usual. You're not late. You're on time. Welcome. Come on in. Yes. Oh, sorry. Good point, Kenny. Who was this? This was the guy's mom. So Luke, who we just watched, the Range Rover guy, which, by the way, how does someone who just got like convicted of all these felonies like have all of a sudden the funds to get a new Range Rover? Not convicted, sorry, charged, you know, arrested. I mean, maybe he has a good job, or maybe, I don't know. This case can hurt the brain sometimes. I just have a lot of questions. But yes, it was Luke's mom, who he lives with. He lives at home with. Christy says, my male Murphy keeps pawing at my phone. I think he's trying to chat. Look at those cute little puppies that Christy has. So funny. There was something else funny you said. Oh, you said, are we getting a babysitter? I love that. Okay, so, and Kenny says, and he said he got it after she went missing. That's isn't that kind of a weird time frame to say when you got it? Like if someone asked me when I got my car, I'd be like, oh, sometime like after 2020, because it's a 2020, and I got it like, well, 3 years. So I got it in like 2023. Yeah. So if someone asked me that, like, I don't know. That is a weird thing. You're right. There are weird things, but they could also just be sort of weird people. If they had anything to do with this, they did have like 20 different law enforcement agents, LE, short for law enforcement agents, there at the property, going through things, looking through DNA, looking through the phone. So if they were involved, I think we would know by now, but it seems like they're not. They have their car back. So Wrathful says, I think her saying it honestly, in my opinion, to me makes it seem like she's defending herself, and she's like, oh, and we have no involvement, none whatsoever. It felt that part just seemed weird to me. Can I just play that ending part one more time again? And you guys just that end part, that last question, just let me know what you think, because it still feels weird to me. I don't know. Oh, it says watch again.
There was so much sadness, and I want to say global, but certainly our whole country, but it goes farther than that probably.
Oh, really
I mean,
does.
the way media is today. I mean, I grew up in a different era, as you know. So it's amazing how things spread. So
What do you want to say to the Guthrie family, especially for you and your son? If there was any possibility they still believed you guys could be involved, what do you want to say to the Guthries?
Savannah, I am just very, very sad and sorry about Nancy. And I pray for you and your family that you heal, that you go back to your normal place of life and resume and build with your family and your children and your husband. But I know it's going to be a challenge, but I'm going to keep praying.
And you want them to know no involvement from you and Luke?
No involvement from Luke and I, no.
Okay, so I really appreciate like your guys' take. It's kind of cool. Like Christina says, I found her to be incredibly authentic, to be honest. And I did too. It was just that one question that I felt was weird, but maybe also, this whole situation is probably so freaking strange for her. She probably didn't even think she had to defend herself, because she's like, I'm just this like old lady living, in the neighborhood, and she just had FBI and SWAT like go through her house, tear down the doors, and now she's doing an interview with a national media. I could see that. I could see her just like maybe just not realizing like the answer to that question was kind of a little weird. They don't look related at all, says Hot Messy Express. Not that moms have to be blood, but they look nothing alike to me. That is very interesting that you brought that up, because I think it was the last or the one before of the interview room. By the way, they're going on tonight, and I will send you guys there. They go on in about like 23 minutes, but it's okay. We could be a little late. I'm going to send you there after. But they had a DNA specialist on, someone, and she's like, her expertise is putting together family trees. She said sometimes with cases, it does get crazy, because some people don't realize that like one of the relatives is not related. And then you have to like, it makes things more complicated, especially like if someone was adopted and they didn't know they were adopted, or they maybe adopted like a relative's kid, and it does get kind of complicated sometimes. Yeah. And she said they usually start with the dad's side and build the tree from there. But then again, sometimes that could get complicated. So it's just very, very interesting. He said his mom was following the case. She probably can't believe her own son even got brought into the case. She seems authentic. I agree with that. Christina's spot on. So yes. And she said that she would pray. So it sounds like she thinks she has already passed. I mean, at this point, it does sound like that. Me too, says Laura Trainer. Wrathful says, I know what you mean, but I feel the opposite. I think if she would have said it, it would have sound more like defending herself. I think if she would, it would have sound more like defending. Yeah, that's true too. I don't know. And then Kenny says, I don't think she listened to the whole question. Like she missed part of what she was asked or something. That could be it too. And sometimes these are really, could be really stressful, especially if you're not used to it. Like they're in a studio, there's lighting, there's like a camera, there's the person interviewing you, telling you not to look at the camera and to look at them. So who knows? At this point, she could have been spacing out. Just Snooping says, I think maybe because if someone had done it, they wouldn't say what she said, like praying for the family, etc. I don't know if that makes sense. It does. it makes sense because honestly, none of this case makes sense. So however they react, I think is probably perfectly logical, to be honest. So, oh yeah, that was so good. That stream was so good. Well, we're going to get into something about the interview. I was debating whether or not to bring this up, but you know, since we're on the crazy train, well, okay, so hold on, we're not there yet. This was we're going to get to that next, but first, I just wanted to point this out is that the FBI billboards, so it's been confirmed they're in Southern California, and we even had people in our very own chat, like Miss Trish told us that she's actually seen these signs all the way out in Texas. So we've had them, they've been spotted all over the place, but I'm saying, what are they missing? What do you guys think these signs are missing? Well, I'll tell you what I think they're missing. I think that they are missing a photo of the suspect, because at this point, I just think we're trying to find someone who recognizes this suspect to get closer to figuring out what happened. Yes, and the reward money. Good point, Christina. And we're trying to figure out who the suspect is. I think we've seen this face of Nancy a lot. And in my opinion, I don't feel like they're looking for Nancy anymore at this point. I feel like they're trying to figure out who the suspect is. So I don't know how it works with billboards, like, or how easy they are to change. But I just think if they put that much money into the billboards, that they should do it with something that maybe is like a little more, helpful. Like, put photos of that suspect. I think we need to find out someone knows who this person is. And so I kind of fixed it for them. I added it. I didn't put obviously this part would have to be changed too. Maybe what did they say? He was like 5'10" or 5'8" to 5'10". We probably don't know his age, but yeah, and then call the FBI. But I also, I think that's a good point though, that Christina said. I would put a big fat, like, $1 million reward, because I think that would get people's attention. So yeah, I agree with you. A pick of the suspect and the reward money. Who is in Houston? San Antonio. Oh, Trish, yeah, in San Antonio. Yes, Rosewild says they are missing the sheriff's number 2. LOL. But that's on purpose because these are the FBI signs, and so they want the information to go to them. So, DFJ says, me in Houston, LOL. Aha, I see. So, exactly. Jungle Vet Jill says, I know who it is. Oh, okay. Will you fill us in, please? I want to know. I want to know what you know, Jungle Vet Jill. Okay, so where are we going next? Yes, and this is just to clear something up, because this was all over the place. The Adult Protective Services.
When you bring up the Adult Protective Services, there was some questions about there was a card left in Nancy's door that was from an Adult Protective Services supervisor, an investigator, and a lot of people spotted that card. Actually, one of our producers saw the investigator put the card in the door, and it was after we got here, after Nancy was missing. It was like Monday or Tuesday of that first week. So people thought the card was there from before, but it actually wasn't, because one of our producers saw him put the card in the door. It's actually a woman in the door after she was already reported missing.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download.
All right, Chris. But so I thought that was, interesting. And if you guys don't remember, there was the Adult Protective Services card, like, it actually technically wasn't in the door. It was like in the window of the door. And everyone's like, well, why would that come afterwards? And it looks, and also because then that person had to walk across the crime scene. So I just thought it was pretty interesting. Christine says, yay, proud of you. Now I will report back to Khaleesi too. We were going nuts, not knowing, super hyper focused. Oh, on this part? Well, I'm glad it's been cleared up. So this is, or Jungle Vegetable says alleged. It is alleged. Yes. But so I just think that that's pretty legit, that the News Nation crew was there. They saw that happened. Oh, that was to Trish. Sorry. I was like, you and Khaleesi were obsessed about when the AP Adult Protective Services came. Now that makes more sense. Okay. So Michelle says, is the FBI paying for the billboards? I believe so. Yes, exactly. So we are going to go to the next slide. Uh-oh. Why is it blank? That's okay. It probably was not important. New Mystery Madness, the interview room. All right. I was really debating doing this or not, but you know what? Like, I love you guys, and I thought this could be a mystery for us all to figure out or not figure out. So, as most of you know, I'm a huge fan of the interview room. I've been following them for a long time. If you've been on this stream, I've never once said anything, at least to my knowledge, that was nothing but supportive of them. And so yesterday I went to repost something that Chris McDonough, him and his wife, Karen, they run the stream for the interview room. And then he always brings on all the guests. And my favorite guest is Dr. Gary Brucato. He's my absolute favorite. And there's a lot of other good guests they bring on. But he posted this yesterday, and it said he just spoke with the Pima County Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer about Annie's car. It says we're in the process of releasing it back to the family, but don't know when. And then he tagged a bunch of people. And then he posted a copy of that email where it says, I guess this is from the PIO, and it says, I do not have an exact date for you, nor will I. When we are able to give it back, we will. When we are able to give it back, we will. So I tried to repost it, and I realized I couldn't. I was like, that's weird. And then I saw I was blocked by him. And so I was like, how, like, what did I do, like, to be blocked by them? So then I went and looked, because I was like, maybe I tagged him in something or something. And I looked, and I actually have never tagged him ever. I've only tagged the interview room, and that's only when I give credit for posting something from them or being like, oh, here's a link you got to watch them. But it looks like the interview room account is pretty much defunct anyways. It looks like the last post they had was from 2023. And it really has no followers, because their channel has, like, I don't know, maybe like at least 20,000 followers, probably more. So I was really confused. And so I did write an email to him, and I looked back, because I was like, did I ever? And the earliest I could find, like, I would, like, tag little, like, short clips of them, but I didn't even know he had an X account at that point. So I only hashtagged it and hashtag it, but I linked the video. So this was because especially with their reporting for the Idaho 4 case, I really felt like they were so spot on the whole time. Like how, when they decided to tear down the house, when the college did, how that it was like the college was making itself the victim. It's like, you are not the victim. This is a freaking crime scene. Like, don't tear it down. What are you doing? We got to keep it up for the jury. And I just thought they made so many good points, and I was always shouting them out. And then even on my videos, like my recent live streams for this case, I always, I'll give credit if I post like something from them. I'll link the clip them. So, but I've never tagged him when I went back and looked that I could find. So, yeah, I said I've never tagged him, only the show. Maybe he didn't like, and so this is what the only thing I could come up with was like, maybe he didn't like my take on something, but in that case, he could have just muted. You can mute people, and then you don't have to see something versus a block. And then, yeah, this is the only other thing I could find. Like the latest thing where I had was like, I put together a clip with, and the other thing is, like, sometimes in the true crime community, and I don't usually pay attention to all of this, like, I don't always know, like, who gets along with who. So sometimes I'm not aware of that, and I'll like step in a what is it called? Like a landmine when I do something, like when I will say something to someone else that whatever, because I don't really follow any of the drama. I just follow the cases. So I'm like, maybe these two people don't get along, but because I tagged the interview room with Lana when I was showing how like the February 10th search warrant was from the state and the February 13th was federal, but I was giving them both credit for something. So, I mean, I don't know. Oops, I did that again. And then, yeah, this one. Oh, and I loved, because this is the other part that like really resonated with me, was that from the very beginning, I was on Kaylee's parents' side. I thought her dad, some people are giving him such a hard time for like, putting the police, like putting their feet to the fire to be like, give us answers. Like, because I thought the case, honestly, like the way the information was coming out about the case was terrible, especially in the beginning. And when they were saying how, and this was for the Idaho 4 case, like when they were saying how it was targeted and then it wasn't targeted. And I just felt like what they did to the victims' families was awful. So I thought her dad, like, he really, he was trying to get justice for his daughter. So I was always on their side. And that's why I really, really appreciated the interview room. I'm pretty sure that's when I first like got on board with them. And I really liked their interviews with that family. And even like they were with the family the whole way. They even had Dr. Gary Brocado like help talk them through some things. And especially when the trial was canceled, when they accepted the plea deal, he helped them for how to go through that. And then when it was time to make the statements to the, when they could address inmate 214, we don't want to give him his name. When it was time to address them, apparently they helped put together a team like with Ann Burgess, who is the one from the FBI that Mindhunters is based off of. Like they had her help to give input to Olivia, and she just killed, like wrong word to use, but she absolutely slayed in her statement. So anyways, so I did write him just a quick email, and I just asked, was there something I did or said and that I apologized and I appreciate the channel? And I just said, best case scenario, I get a response. This is my opinion. And worst case, and then because I also asked, I was like, if I did anything, does that mean I'm like not allowed at the channel anymore? I was so confused. So, and I said, worst case scenario, maybe the channel blocks me and I never hear from them again. And I said, regardless, I still support the work they do. And I know in my heart, I've done nothing but support them. So who knows? Yeah. Oh, that's so true. Sorry, Christine. Oh my God, you're so right. I don't know if Slay is much better. She absolutely, and how about this? She absolutely nailed it. She nailed it. Olivia nailed her victim statement to Koberger. I was one of the best I've ever seen. Yeah. So I don't know. They blocked me. That's the mystery. That's the whole mystery. I don't know. It wasn't the interview room though. It was just Chris. So, and I was gonna like, I could easily like ask, like go out of my way to try to ask them publicly, but I'm not. Like I'm keeping this to my small channel, and I just was showing it to you guys just to show that like, and I'm still supporting them. Actually, I already linked their stream that starts like in 10 minutes in this description, and I will still support what they do. I have no idea what I did. Don't be sorry, DFJ. Was just teasing you. Well, I saw your comments on a recent live chat. Well, yeah, and I mean, I've been in their live chats again since the Idaho 4 case. So that was like in 2023. So again, I don't know. It's a mystery. I don't know if you guys have any theories or anything. And I don't know if it was the right thing to do to personally like reach out to Chris. And I just wanted to be like, if there was something I did, I would hope that just to learn, just to be informed about it so I could learn and grow and then make it right, hopefully. But who knows? Honestly, the best thing I could come up with was like, maybe I had a take on something that they just didn't like, or I reposted someone they didn't like, because there are some people that do not support him and they have really not nice things to say about a case from forever ago. And I always ignore that stuff, but maybe who knows? I have no idea. Honestly, it's a mystery. So, but I'm going to send you guys there when this is all done. And then this is why I love you guys, because I said we don't always have to agree, but we can have a conversation. That's why I appreciate you all. And at the end of the day, the goal is the same. We just want justice. We want truth. And, we love our community. Where is Nancy? And there is hope. And so I did want to end this stream on a positive note. Look at this memorial. Like, it's incredible. It keeps growing. I mean, this is somewhat positive. This is just, there was hopefully going to be a different positive note. Well, we love you, DFJ. Well, thank you. And so I think that, yeah, that is crappy. That is crappy. It happened. It would drive me nuts not knowing what I did wrong. I mean, you can't know all the drama going on. I know. And I can't exactly that's what my final thing, my best guess was, to be honest with that. I was just like, who knows? Like sometimes people get so offended and I don't know. I have no idea, but I know for a fact that like, I've never spoken bad about them. So at least I know it's not that. And I'm not going to like drive myself crazy trying to figure out what it is. I'm just like, whatever, moving on. At the end of the day, this is bigger than like me or what someone thinks about me. There are a lot of people in this world. You cannot have a different opinion on anything. Even if you support them and are active on their channel, they can flip any moment you have a different opinion. And that's the crazy part. Is like, I don't even know when he flipped, because apparently I was always tagging the interview room account, which is like not even active. And I never even tagged him before. So that is what the weird part was. It is such a beautiful memorial, right? I hope everything works out. Yeah, I'm not worried about it, like, as far as like the interview room, but I do hope, because at the end of the day, this is about the case. And even if whatever, if he doesn't like me, I still do appreciate their other guests. They didn't block you on YouTube because I saw your comments in live chat. No, that's true. Yeah. But then maybe now they can. Now that I emailed, but I was a nice email. I literally told them how much I appreciate them and how long I've been supporting, and just I had that question and I wanted to know if they would be willing to respond to let me know what happened so I could correct it. But and then if that extended how with my involvement in the channel, and so we'll see if they respond. So far they haven't, but just throwing it out there. Okay, so I bet it was a misunderstanding in some way. I mean, I honestly I've never said anything bad about them. And so I feel like it had to have been something I reposted or maybe a take I had on something. But for the most part, I feel like I've always been aligned with their take. So who the heck knows? And then, yes, Christy says, I hope wherever Nancy is that she sees how people care and want her found. I agree. Christina says, I think that's very kind of you, DFJ. And if they block you, then I don't care to watch them, to be honest. I know. And that was the only reason why I was like, do I even mention this? But it was a mystery. And I felt like, well, maybe like my people can figure it out. But no, it's okay to still watch them because like y'all aren't blocked. And I'm even going to link this to whatever that word is, link it to them when I'm done. So I'm just whatever, because this is bigger than that. He's a bit grumpy, says Jungle Vigil. Well, we're gonna hopefully there will be a follow-up with this if they respond to me, but if they don't, whatever, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I hope that we still find Nancy. So I was gonna try to find something positive to end this on, and it was gonna be the story of Gigi from Pretty Lies and Alibis, who found that dog and saved it, but then turns out today it had to go back to the family that was tying it up outside, so that wasn't positive. So I'm like, okay, next. So this is the next best thing I found to end on a positive note. We are going to go to this slide. Okay, so yesterday there was this video of a plane that landed back at LAX that was taking off for New Jersey, and one of the wings lit on fire. So it turned around, it had to land, and then everyone had to evacuate. But the positive side of that is that everyone did get out safely. But I don't know. This could be really dark humor, and some of you might all think that this is like too much, but I did think it was a little crazy. Look at the way that they're exiting. So there's a bunch of different slides, and I was like, oops. Okay, now we're just gonna have to do this on X, because whenever I zoom in on there, it just and okay, so then also when we do come here, you can see the main post. So like the wing was like on fire and smoking, and Airlines Boeing 787-9 flight 2127 bound for Newark with 256 passengers and 12 crew made an emergency return to LAX shortly after departure due to a left engine issue. Oh, sorry, it wasn't the wing, it was the engine that was on fire. Emergency slides deployed and fire crews hosed down visible smoke on arrival. So this is like the zoomed out view. You can see like people had to like go on the slides and exit and run out. And I know this is probably super demented of me, but I was watching it and I was like, what is going on with slides? Like everyone's falling. Like there was like, I don't know, like the other people seem to be getting off just fine on these others. But like there is major.
Okay, you can stop there if you want, or do you want to clear the runway? United 2127 Heavy.
On slide 1.
If United 2127, you can exit here and RC.
Sorry, that was the background noise there. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty like interesting. But then it gets even kind of funnier. So then this guy says that he was on the plane. And he's like, I was on the flight. The slide was steep. I was surprised how fast it was and how hard I hit the ground. Some of the passengers got cut up, were falling on each other. I can't imagine a disabled person going down. Maybe they need to re-engineer that puppy. And I said, wow, how are you doing? Thank goodness you made it out. Slide looks so steep. I was wondering what happens with a disabled person. Like if someone can't walk, how are they expected to land off that slide? But I guess the goal is just to get everyone out quickest way possible with the least harm possible, not necessarily no harm. And then he said, sorry, hold on. Well, why isn't it showing all the comments? Oh, here. And this one says, LOL, I guarantee it's probably not the slide and just people don't know how to properly go down the slide. You'd be surprised. And then he says, I've been down a lot of slides, but never one like that. It felt like it took about 1/100th of a second to get down and you hit the ground hard. And I said, seems like that is by design then, to get everyone out as quick as possible. There are only seconds to get out when something is on fire. A few scrapes and bumps and bruises is a lot better than people left behind to burn. And he said, to me, it felt like people were scared to jump and it slowed it down even more. I personally think they should consider redesigning to make people exit more quickly. And I said, that must have been terrifying. I'm not sure I'd still want to go on a flight after that experience. Oops. And then he says, I'm still at LAX and have been sitting. Okay, so this was like at 9 at night. So their flight was like at like 8 or 9 in the morning. And he's like, I'm still at LAX and have been sitting on the tarmac for 2 hours. We can't take off because the plane is leaking. It's about to take off, but we'll probably miss my connection again. Wish me luck. And then I said, oh my goodness, first the plane was on fire. Then they rebook you almost 12 hours later on another flight that is delayed because it's leaking and you might miss your connection. They need to buy you a spa day. You are brave for even getting on another plane after that fire. And I said, good luck. May the odds ever be in your favor. And he laughed I'm glad he got the joke. But like, thank goodness everyone got out okay. I think that just like crazy. This is crazy. Can you imagine that happening? And it reminded me of something else. Let me check in with you guys. Yes, Trish, it is a blood full moon, so I think you are covered. It is a full moon. Everything is crazy. Khaleesi said, depends how fast the slide is. Yeah, let's see. First class has never been down a slide. So actually, Chrissy, I was thinking that too, but then look at this. Can you see the screen right now? Doesn't it look like who are these people that are taking the stairs? I was like, is that first class? Like from now, like I'm honestly, I've always hated flying. I hate the whole concept of an airport. I don't know if you guys saw that movie, not the movie, the show. It's like the one TV show I watched this year or last year. It was the one with the airplanes. With the guy on, it was HBO. Now I don't even know what it was called. The Practice or something. And do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's the comedian who does it. If you guys know this show, let me know. But The Rehearsal. It's called The Rehearsal. And so basically they practice whatever. So this last season 3, he did a whole thing about airplanes and safety and stuff. And there was one part of it that really resonated with me where he kind of, because he makes these like these stages, these crazy things. Like he makes a replica of like the entire Houston airport. And then one of the activities he actually ended up doing with that was letting like a bunch of like autistic people come, and so they get to practice flying before they fly, because a lot of those things are triggering for a lot of people, like having to like leave all your things on the train, stand in the line, and there's all these noises and all these people and a lot of yelling. And so they did the whole thing, and I thought it was so cute. And I was like, I could have really used that, because I'm not autistic, but flying, like the whole concept of like the whole airport and then checking whatever, the whole thing drives me nuts. It makes me crazy. I do not like it. And I would, if something like this happened, I would like never fly again if I was on the plane. And they survived and everyone was okay. Christina says, oh my God, middle slide behind the engine is cracking me up. Must be business class. I don't know. Gail said, those slides are thanks to an Aussie inventor. They should be thankful. And you know what? I agree with you, Gelth Walker. I think they should be thankful, because then when you do look at it, like when he said that it felt like he went down in like 1/100th of a second, that's the whole point, you know, is like they're just trying to get everyone out as quick as possible. Like if you hit the pavement really hard and got some bruises, thank God you got out of the plane and you weren't stuck in there when it was burning. But he also said that they like waited for a while before any of that was deployed. But he said that the pilots and the staff, because I went and I looked at like all his comments, and he went and he looked at all and he said that like the whole crew and the pilots were extremely like professional, and like they did everything they could to get everyone out. Some people were freaking out and took their luggage and stuff, but so if you don't think that this is like crazy for a positive note, there was one more funny note after this I was going to play. This you guys might actually think I'm crazy. This used to be one of the funniest things. Oh yeah, I was saying he was on the plane, so yeah, I thought that was cool. Okay, did you guys ever see this? This is what it kind of reminded me of. I don't know. Something's probably really wrong with me that I think this is funny, but this ski and everyone got off this okay. I mean, some people went to the hospital, but everyone survived. But this ski lift malfunctioned. And it makes me laugh. I don't know why. Like going on a ski lift normally. Oh, I'm not even sharing the slide. Hold on. Going on a ski lift, anyways, I always thought was funny because I think it's funny when they get off. But like, have you guys seen this one where it goes crazy? I'm gonna play it. We're just gonna we'll look at some of this. Sorry, too dark. Is it too dark? Or natural selection? No, that's not too dark. Jungle Vigil. Oh my God, it reminds me of a local water park in Costa Rica had a giant slide and the kids were flying off. So they put a net. I think maybe that's the only thing that could be changed is like if they did have some kind of softer landing. Christina, okay, I'm glad you guys kind of like it. It was like, it is funny. You know, it's funny because everyone has survived, right? And then when you go back and look at, but she said the video gets funnier the more times it's played. I agree. So, oh, send me that link, DFJ. You want this link? Okay, hold on. I'm going to just play this real quick. And then there's one more thing after that, and then we're done. So.
Stop! For you, man!
Well, that was just part of it, but like that was a bad angle, but there's better clips that are like, yeah, it's crazy. That's not even the bet. That was just like when I looked at those the closest I could find, but there's like all these other, there's so many different ones with the clips of better angles, and the people are flying off the ski lift, and then they're just trying to warn everyone as they're coming down, like, jump, you have to jump off, because then they all started like they all started piling up, and they're like, you're gonna get hit into this, and like, you know, but they ended up like, everyone ended up being okay. A few people ended up going to the hospital, but everyone was okay. But what was also funny is this was like in Jordan, the country, I guess. Oh no, sorry, Georgia, the country. But one of the funniest parts of this whole thing for me was looking at the comments and the Americans thinking that there was the ski lift was in the state of Georgia and not in Georgia, the country. So that was just funny. And yeah, I will. Let me. You guys are giggling too. Okay, so I'm glad you have my same sense of humor. I think if everyone's okay, you can laugh. So, oops, that was the link to my Canva. Let me get the link to the actual video for you, and then it's right here. Because if you look it up, there's other funny ones too. Oh yeah, let me see if this is showing any of the other angles of it. Yeah, they're trying to get people to jump off. Okay, let me put this link here. So like, if you guys want to see the rest of that. And then the last thing I had for you, oh yeah, it was just the last thing. I made a little short clip on the cadaver bag. So we can go out on that one where I just combined everything. But basically that's the stream, y'all. And I'm going to forward this to, let me see if I can actually do that. If I'm going to forward it to the interview room when we're done here. Sorry, I just got a notice about something. Well, whatever, I'll read that later. I'm going to change the settings so that it forwards there. I go to customization. And again, I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to the chat for being here, for catching up with this case with me, and for trying to laugh with me at the end. And I also want to say thank you to wonderful mods, Khaleesi, Laura, and Christina. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here and for just making sure that like this channel only exists really because of them. So just letting you all know that, and because of you guys and everyone who comments and likes this stream, that would be great. So we're going to go out on one more thing, and then I will forward you all to the interview room. So let me get back to my slide where I was going to play this. A cadaver bag without being put on a list. This is Tiffany. Rosewild says cadaver bag, like an actual body bag that would come from a morgue. See, I'm confused about that too. Did you just look it up together? Cadaver bag. A cadaver bag is a body bag or human remains pouch, is a non-porous, waterproof, and durable pouch designed to contain, store, and transport human remains. Why the hell would you need to buy a cadaver bag? Remember when they did show some of the photos and people were saying that it was a black trash bags? Remember at first people were guessing that they were trash bags? So maybe it was just black cadaver bags. What if the doorbell guy or shrubbery guy from the Nancy Guthrie case, what if it wasn't a tarp in his backpack? What if it was a cadaver bag? What if that's the new thing now? Is there like a TikTok of cadaver bags? I need to know. I'm very curious. SF Investigates, he has been on this, the David case for a while, and I cut her apart, placed her remains inside those bags, put her in the trunk of a Tesla, and went on with their lives. They purchased cadaver bags. They went to the extent of purchasing cadaver bags. And still, 6 months later, there are no charges, no accountability, silence, sealed records. Threaten me with contempt all you want. I will proudly take that contempt charge in the pursuit of justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. We need to let the LAPD and DA's office know we are mad and this is not acceptable. I wish her family would do the same. Here is the 151-page court filing for anyone willing to read it. Talk about a freaking mic drop. I think he said that very well. So thank you, everyone. I put a link to the interview room. I can't redirect you because they don't allow redirects, of course. So love you all. Have a good evening, everyone, and I will talk to you soon.